Hi everyone, Paul Levy with Brownells here, and this week we have some more new products. First up, from Extreme Defense, we have their enhanced bolt carrier group. Starting up front, I'll go through the features and work our way back all the way to the included buffer and spring. Up front on this guy, one of the most noticeable thing is it has dual ejectors. So you've probably seen this on like a 308 pattern AR. They've sometimes got dual ejectors. The obvious thing is you've got two springs, more surface area pressed on that brass. Theoretically, the faster and more efficient it's going to kick out that spent cartridge. And then moving back on the bolt, you'll notice this too. They've got relief cuts all the way around, which is pretty interesting to relieve stress. And then I guess the thing I should have pointed out initially is the finish. Super slick. You can kind of just see how well glossy that is. But when you feel it in your hand, it is definitely, one, it's super slick compared to a phosphate finish bolt, but even a nitrate finish bolt carrier group, or even a nickel boron, I'd say it's comparable with how slick it is. Cam pin, get to the opposite side there. So there's your cam pin. They've rounded the edges so you can reduce that wear in the upper receiver. Via that method. They've got a cam pin track that's slightly modified to ensure that bolt is camming out a little bit slower. And then they've got a gas key that's shortened up. This is probably, again, one of those more noticeable upgrades they did on it. So a typical gas key goes back here. This one they've shortened up, and they've got it put in place with two screws right there, which are staked. What that allows is the bolt carrier group to travel just a little bit further back in the upper receiver. So instead of, say, cycling back and impacting at the rear of the buffer tube, this one can go a little bit further with a shortened buffer it's comboed with, and hence, and as a result, relieves a little bit more energy and gives slightly less recoil impacting the rear of that buffer tube. It is an M16 bolt carrier group, so it can trip an auto sear if you're going that route. And then they've got these serrations here to remove a little bit of friction on those rounds that are seated below. So that's the bolt carrier group itself. Right here we have the buffer and spring. Now the main thing with these is, or this combo, is this is slightly shortened to allow that bolt carrier group to travel a little bit further, but then they've also got a flat wire spring, which ensures you get that full compression. The buffer itself does have weights in it to ensure you get the anti-bounce capability. So that's the Extreme Defense bolt carrier group and buffer and spring, now available at Brownells. New from FM Products, we have their Warhammer charging handle. So this is an extended charging handle for your typical AR-15 platform. Drops into any of those, and they've got these huge latches on the rear. You can actuate it obviously from either side. Interesting thing about these, and not super, I guess you'd say fat, front to back, so pretty thin. Makes them really nice and crisp to grab, and not going to really slip off that with these front serrations. Again, extended charging handle for your standard AR-15, the Warhammer from FM Products. The new from Bix'n Andy, I'll get this trigger out of here. This is their Dakota Remington 700 compatible trigger. If you're not familiar with Bix'n Andy, they're a high-end trigger company. They've been selling their stuff for years. We've now got this one, and comes in at a great price. I believe this one's right around $200. So you get a high-end trigger from a well-known company with a lot of great features. It's adjustable from 1 to 4 pounds on the trigger pull. It is a sear-less design, and what that means is, or for you anyways, is less moving components internally. So one, that lowered their cost, and also increased the reliability of the trigger itself. Included with the package there, if you saw me set it aside, you've got your safety mechanism right there, and then otherwise that's your trigger housing in all its glory for your Remington 700, the Dakota Trigger from Bix'n Andy. And from Brownells, we have our revised 9mm bolt carrier group. So works with any standard 9mm upper receiver group barrel combo. Comes in at a fantastic price. You'll be able to get these at a great price. It is compatible with Glock and Colt style magazines, so super handy there. Most people seem to be going with the Glock mag these days. It does have what is a standard AR-15 extractor, so you get full strength there. It has this, what essentially I guess would be a key or a gas key, so the charging handle can still grasp right there, and has the weight inserted at the rear. Nice thing about this version, you can pop out this roll pin and use your law folder adapter with this guy right here. It's the proper spec, proper size. So 9mm nitride finish bolt from Brownells. That's it for this week. I'll see you again next week.